Transforming your life with hypnotherapy just got easier with your host, Julie from CoachingHypnosis.net.
Welcome back, dear listener, to Coaching Hypnosis. Yesterday, we tackled the brutal reality of daily integration, proving that consuming high-end clinical data means absolutely nothing if your nervous system folds the second real-world pressure hits. Today, we tear apart one of the most toxic, destructive institutions in modern wellness, the relapse-shaming machine. Let's look at how mainstream recovery culture handles a stumble. When someone slips up after weeks or months of hard work, what does the traditional playbook do? They drag them back to the center of the room, hand them a plastic chip with a big fat 0 on it, make them stand up in front of a circle of strangers and force them to recite a ritualistic confession of personal failure. They drown them in puritanical guilt, moralizing lectures and the soul-crushing narrative that they are powerless. It is barbaric, lazy, and fundamentally anti-scientific. Why does shaming an individual for a relapse practically guarantee they will slide right back into a full-blown bender? Because the brain under stress doesn't need a moral scolding, it needs a neurological diagnostic. When a client stumbles, traditional recovery treats it as a total character collapse. High-end clinical hypnosis and advanced behavioral science treat it as a collaboration error in the feedback loop. Look at what actually happens in the nervous system. A trigger hits. The old myelinated neural pathway fires faster than conscious thought, and the autonomic nervous system reaches for its default comfort mechanism. Shaming that person doesn't repair the pathway. It floods their system with cortisol and shame, the exact two chemical states that drive compulsive escape behaviors in the first place. You cannot shame a nervous system into healing. That is like kicking a car engine because it's misfiring and expecting the spark plugs to fix themselves. When an elite operator or a top-tier practitioner analyzes a slip, they don't hold a moral trial. They run a clinical post-mortem. What was the exact environmental trigger? What somatic warning signs did the body ignore 20 minutes before the loop fired? Where did the prefrontal cortex lose communication with the salience network? You treat the stumble not as a catastrophic moral failure, but as valuable high-definition data. You take that data, plug it back into your hypnotic frameworks, re-index the subconscious trigger, and tighten the architectural bolt so that exact vector of failure can never be exploited again. When you strip the moral panic out of the equation, relapse stops being a devastating identity-shattering tragedy. It becomes an engineering puzzle. And unlike moral guilt, an engineering puzzle can be solved. Until next time, dear listener, on Coaching Hypnosis, keep your standards high and your mind sharp. Mindfully yours, Julie.